Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Soccer Stories. The FIFA World Cup got to a new frontier in 1994 and to a country which often spurned football over the years and gave precedence to such disciplines like baseball and rugby. However, the United States, as one may recall, was one of the semi-finalists in 1930 when the World Cup was put on the boards in Montevideo in Uruguay. The American team was again there in 1934 and 50, though in 1938 it chose to withdraw due to political reasons. There was a rough patch in its fortunes between 1954 and 1986, plummeted and failed to make the final rounds of the global event from the Central American zone. Prior to its return to the World Cup in 1990, the United States had the tag of the host for the 1994 edition in its bag, as the FIFA in 1988 had voted overwhelmingly in its favor, sidelining the claims of Brazil and Morocco. FIFA had more than a reason behind this decision, as it had always looked forward to, or rather wanted, the World Cup to be hosted by the most powerful country on planet Earth. The successful bid was made on the basis of a professionally prepared presentation which spoke of well laid out stadiums and a functional organization plan. However, it was not an easy ride, though as the hosting of the event in 9 venues in different time zones and challenging climatic conditions did raise a quite few eyebrows. But in the end, what made all the difference and a successful World Cup was the manner in which the people of the states undertook on themselves to see to it that the tournament was one continuous wave of joy from start to end, and a profitable one too. Brazil, after suffering all the heartbreaks since 1970, also was able to create a unique record for itself, becoming the first nation to win a 4th World Cup in the new territory of the game, as it shot down Italy via penalties at the end of a palpably tense final. The Germans were not that lucky, as they got knocked out in the quarterfinals by Bulgaria. Greece, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia and Russia were the newcomers of the tournament, which also witnessed a sad end to the glorious career of the legend Diego Maradona. The Argentinian great was expelled from the World Cup after he flunked a drug test, and coupled with this episode was the tragic death of Colombian defender Pablo Escobar, who was shot outside a bar in Medellin, which cast an overshadow over the otherwise exciting fare one got to see on the pitches. Escobar had scored an own goal against the United States, which led to Colombia's ouster from the tournament at the end of the first round. The country had been picked by Pelé as one of the favorites to win the tournament, but sadly, this was not to happen, and shot against Escobar would have taken by a fanatic Colombian fan. There was also rumors at the time to the effect that Escobar had been droned to death by the power Colombian drug cartel, but proof of this failed to emerge. For the first time, FIFA awarded 3 points for a win in the league matches and banned back passes. The offside rule was relaxed and the new Adidas ball produced some stunning long-range goals. Consequently, the tournament saw a glut of goals, and the average of 2.73 goals per match was a sufficient improvement from 2.21 scored in the previous edition. Among players, Russian Oleg Zelenko became the first footballer to score 5 goals in a World Cup match and became the joint top scorer of the tournament along with Hristo Stoichkov. Cameroon's Roger Milla, at 42 years and 39 days, became the oldest player to score a goal in the World Cup when he scored the consolation goal to his team's 1-6 defeat to Russia. Saudi Arabia's Said Al Owairan scored one of the best individual goals of the World Cup against Belgium as the Asian country qualified for the knockouts. Fellow debutants Nigeria also impressed, making it into the pre-quarterfinals after winning a tough group which comprised Argentina, Greece and Bulgaria. The Nigerians crushed Bulgaria and Greece to top their group. The first round threw up a lot of surprises, with the notable one being Belgium's stunning defeat at the hands of Saudi Arabia, courtesy to Said Owairan's masterpiece. Italy started its campaign on a wrong note, losing to Ireland. Roy Horton, lobbed a long ranger over the advanced goalkeeper Gianluca Pagliuca for the winning goal. Norway, playing in the World Cup after 56 years, started off with a win over Mexico. The short-statured Mexican goalkeeper Jorge Campos was eccentric, often wandering away from the penalty area and playing as a sweeper keeper. His colorful attire and flamboyant style made him a crowd favorite. However, his heroics couldn't prevent Norway from winning the match. More trouble awaited Italy in the next match against Norway. Goalkeeper Gianluca Pagliuca received a straight red card after touching the ball outside the penalty area. However, Norway couldn't take advantage of that, and 10-man Italy pulled off a win through Dino Baggio's 69-minute goal. Mexico beat Ireland 2-1 to open up the group of death. The final set of group matches produced draws, with Ireland and Norway playing out a goalless draw, while Italy and Mexico drew 1-1. All the four teams finished with identical 4 points and had the same goal difference. However, Mexico advanced as group winners, while Ireland finished second after having beaten Italy in the league match. Italy too made it as one of the better third-place teams. Brazil, under Carlos Alberto Pereira, was looking to end their 24-year wait for title in the United States. In Romario and Bebeto, they had a potent strike force and more than capable midfield where Captain Rai and Dunga were influential. Romario wasn't superb touch throughout the tournament, scoring in the 2-0 win over Russia. However, Rai's form dipped and he was dropped as Dunga replaced him as captain. The Brazilians rallied around Romario's brilliance as they progressed to the knockouts without much fuss. They ran into the home side in the pre-quarters and won by a solitary Bebeto goal to set up a quarter-final meeting with Netherlands. The Brazil-Netherlands encounter was the toughest the South Americans faced till then in the whole World Cup. Brazil led 2-0 through goals from Romario and Bebeto, but the Dutch clawed its way back to level the scores with less than 15 minutes remaining of the match to end. However, Branco's long-range free kick 9 minutes from time clinched the issue for Brazil. Italy took on the dangerous Nigeria in the pre-quarter-finals. Nigeria took the lead through Emmanuel Amenuike in the 25th minute. The tactical blunder by the Nigerian coach, who withdrew his strikers and packed his defense to play out time, backfired. Though Italy was reduced to 10 men after Gianfranco Zola was sent off in the 76th minute, they piled against Nigeria. Roberto Baggio equalized in the 88th minute and pushed the match into extra time. Italy earned a penalty and Baggio converted it to reach the quarterfinals. The Spaniards finished second behind Germany in their pool with 4 points. Though they drew with Germans 1-1, the 2-2 draw against South Korea was a surprise. Spain was impressive in the 3-0 annihilation of Switzerland and looked to have peaked at the right time. But Italians and Baggio couldn't be denied when two sides met in the quarterfinals. Baggio again struck a brace with the match-winning goal coming in the 88th minute to shut out Spain, which ended another tournament as the perennial underachievers. Germany still had the majority of the players who had helped it win the title in Italy. Though the Germans won their group, they struggled against Bolivia and South Korea. The defense was suspect as Germany let in 2 late goals against South Korea in their last league match and against Belgium in the quarterfinals. But Germans were the favourites when they took on Bulgaria in the quarterfinals. Having qualified for tournament through a last gasp goal against France, the Bulgarians proved to be a surprise packet for many. The Bulgarians had never won a game in their previous World Cups, but they created history in the States when they beat both Greece and Argentina to enter the second round. Nazaka Sirakov's injury time goal against Argentina took them to second spot in the league table. Bulgaria edged out Mexico in a penalty shootout to enter the quarterfinals for the first time. Bulgaria's trump card was its captain Hristo Stoichkov. A dead ball expert, Stoichkov was among the goals in the tournament. Probably, Stoichkov scored the most important goal of his career in the quarterfinal against Germany after Germans went ahead through a Lothar Matthäus penalty. Bulgaria struck twice within 3 minutes to stun the defending champions. Stoichkov curled in a superb free kick to equalize the scores and Lechkov headed in the match winner. Argentina started their campaign in style with a 4-0 win over Greece. Diego Maradona scored initially and a hat-trick by Batistuta ensured a comprehensive win for the Latin American side. However, the Nigerians proved to be tough opponents. Sia stunned Argentina with an early strike, but Kenigia's brace in the space of 7 minutes clenched the issue for the South Americans. However, it was later confirmed that Diego Maradona had failed a dope test, and when Argentina took on Bulgaria, it looked a disjointed unit and lost. Claudio Kenigia was injured and Argentina was greatly weakened when they took on Romania in the pre-quarter finals, but the match turned out to be the best of the 1994 World Cup. Romanian captain Gheorghe Hagi, known as the Maradona of the Carpathians, was in irresistible form as he set up the second goal for Dumitrist and scored the third with a glorious long ranger. Down 3-1, Argentina attacked desperately as Romania defended in numbers. Though Argentina scored again in the 75th minute, the Romanian defense held out for a famous win. The match was marked out for the blistering pace under hot conditions and for technical quality. However, Sweden ended Romania's run in the quarter-finals, winning 5-4 on penalties. Both teams were level 2-2 at the end of regular time. Sweden met Brazil in the semi-finals. The two had already met in their league match, but Brazil managed to squeeze out a solitary goal win through a Romario strike 10 minutes from time and entered the final for the first time in 24 years. Italy, after beating Spain in the quarter-finals, took on Bulgaria. Roberto Baggio struck twice within 4 minutes in the first to wrest the advantage. Though Bulgaria pulled a goal back through Hristo Stoichkov's penalty, the Italians held on to their lead to enter the final. The final was played at Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, before a 95,000-strong crowd. Both the teams played cautiously, and after 120 scoreless minutes, the match went into shootout. Italians had a bitter memories of the shootout after having lost in the semi-finals of the previous World Cup to Argentina. With the score 3-2 in the 5th round, Roberto Baggio, who has been the talisman for Italy, stepped out to take his kick. However, Baggio's kick sailed over the bar, giving Brazil an unprecedented 4th title. That's all in today's episode. Let's meet again in another fresh episode of Soccer Stories. Until then, hasta la vista.